All right, so hello, happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. It was nice out. Now I'm looking outside and it's snowy. I'm recording right now. It's Sunday night, and it is snowy and it's just kind of sad. But I think it is going to get nicer out. So let's cross our fingers for no more snow. All right, so we are jumping into chapter 11. Now, this is actually, chapter 11 will be our last chapter of the year. So we have chapter 11, we have a few different sections in here, I think 9. So we'll go through these 9 sections throughout the next few weeks, and then we'll just start reviewing stuff that we learned throughout 3rd grade. So 11.1 is modeling perimeter. So we're just going to learn about how you can find perimeter. I would ask you guys, if you're in class, who has heard of perimeter, who knows what perimeter is? Perimeter, if you look here at your yellow highlighted word, is the distance around a figure. So we're just focusing on the length or the distance around a figure. So here with this activity, it tells us to use a geoboard. We're not going to use a geoboard because we don't have them at home, unfortunately. They would be something that would be really fun at school. So we're just going to draw. But right here it says you can find the perimeter of a rectangle on a geoboard or on dot paper by counting the number of units on each side. So it says make a rectangle on the geoboard that is 3 units on 2 sides and 2 units on the other 2 sides. So we know that with a rectangle, with their lengths, there's 2 sides that are the same and the other 2 sides are the same length. Okay, so a unit is just one line from one dot to another dot. So we know that's 1 unit, and we want our rectangle to have 3 units on one side and 2 on the other. So let's make this side 2 units, and then we'll make these 3. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2. Okay, so this side has 2 units and this side has 2 units. This side has 3 units and this side has 3 units. So it says write the length next to each side on your rectangle. So right here, this would be 3 units, 3 units, and 2 units. It's good to write this down. I know it seems kind of annoying, but it's good because it will help you to solve problems later on instead of going back and counting each time. Because even though we can count these quick, there might be some that may be bigger, and it's just easier to write it down. Write it down, write it down. All right, so, okay, we did that. We did step C. All right, on D, it says add the number of units on each side. So this is where it's good that we wrote it down because we can just go back and look. So for perimeter, all you need to do is you need to count, if you want to find the perimeter of a rectangle or any kind of shape, you need to add up all of the units or whatever it's measured at. It might be measured in feet, it might be measured in inches, but right now we're just doing units. So we're going to add 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. So we're just adding up each side length. So we know that 3 plus 3 is 6, and 2 plus 2 is 4. And we know that 6 plus 4 is 10. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 10 units. Okay, now it says, how would the perimeter of the rectangle change if 2 of the sides was 4 instead of 3? So how would it change? So if this 3 was a 4 and this 3 was a 4, what would happen? Well, if you need to, we can draw it out and look. So we have 2 units and then we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then draw that line. So this would be 2, this would be 2, 4, and 4. So it would be 4 plus 4 is 8, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So we would have 8 plus 4, which equals 12. So it would change. So the perimeter, oops, and I just realized that I kind of went fast through that whole process. So if you need me to slow down, you can just pause my video, but I'll just recap. We were changing the perimeter, or the side lengths of 3 units to 4 units. So we just changed it right here and we made a new picture. So here's my new side lengths, 4 and 4. We're adding our sides together. 4 plus 4 is 8, and then 10. So 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 2 more is 10, plus 2 more is 12. Okay? And if you have any questions about this, feel free to just call me and we can do a Zoom chat, or message me on Class Dojo. I would love to help you. I love perimeter. Okay, right here, we are getting into more of those word problems. It wants us to talk about how we're solving these math problems. So, describe how you would find the perimeter of a rectangle that is 5 units wide and 6 units long. So we know that width is this way, wide. Length is this way. Oh, you can't really see. Silly me. So this is width, and this is our length. Okay? So if I had a rectangle, or a perimeter, sorry, or if I had a rectangle, oh my gosh, that is 5 units wide, so it would look like this. And 6 units long. How would I find my perimeter? Well, I know that the perimeter, if we go back and look, is the distance around a figure. So we're going to add 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 5. So you need to kind of break this up. We can't just look at this right away and go, oh, I know the answer. So what I would do is I would say, well, I know my doubles. 6 plus 6 is 12. 5 plus 5 is 10. For me, I would know right away what the answer is, but some people might need to write it out again. Okay, and that is totally fine. That's how we learn. We know that 0 plus 2 is 2, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So we know that the perimeter of a shape that is 5 units wide and 6 units long is 22 units. Okay, I'll give you a chance to write that down. All right, so this gets a little bit trickier. You have to think in a different way, but it's okay if you don't get it. Just try your best, all right? So, a rectangle has 2 pairs of sides of equal length. And we know that about rectangles because we're just learning about shapes in our last chapter. Explain how you can find the unknown length of 2 sides when the length of one side is 4 units and the perimeter is 14. Okay, so there's a few things that we know here. We know that one side length is 4 units. So I'm going to just circle that. Okay? And we know that the perimeter of the whole shape is 14 units. Okay? So, since a rectangle has 2 pairs of equal lengths, so we know that there's 2 different side lengths. So we're going to start right here. We're going to say since a rectangle has 2 pairs of equal length. What can we assume here? So we know that one side is 4 units. What do we know up here? We knew that one side was 5 and 6. But since we know that one side is 4 units long, then we know that 4 plus 4 equals 8. Okay? So we know so far, let's say we're drawing a rectangle. Say this is 4 and this is 4. Okay, so this is what we know of our rectangle so far. So now we need to find these missing lengths. So then I can subtract 14 minus 8. Okay, why are we doing 14 minus 8? Well, I know that my whole perimeter, equals 14. And I know that my two side lengths are both 4, which adds up to 8. So now I just need to find the total of these two lengths combined, which we will get from 14 minus 8, which equals 6. Since we know it's a rectangle, we know that these two sides are equal because these two sides are equal. Since the other two sides are equal, I can divide, or not I can, you do it. I divide by 2. What are we dividing by 2? We're taking the 6 because we know that that's the total length of these two sides combined. So 6 divided by 2 equals what? How many times does 2 go into 6? 3 times. So the length is 3 units. One way you can check your work, okay, I'm going to put it in here. One way to check your work is, okay, I got 3 units, but let's see if that adds up to 14. So 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 3 more is 11, plus 3 more is 14. So I was right. If this number was 2, if I got the answer 2 somehow, then I would say, oh, okay, well, I made a mistake when I was trying to solve that problem. I'm going to go back and check. All right, give you a second to write that out. All right, so Jill says, we're on number 3 here. Jill says that finding the perimeter of a figure with all sides of equal length is easier than finding the perimeter of other figures. So let's say that, so she's saying that this would be harder than a square because a square, all sides are equal. But with a rectangle, it's a little bit trickier because not all sides are equal. Is she right? Yes or no? I say yes, because all of the sides have an equal length. I can multiply the length by the number of sides the figure has. So, it's easier to find the perimeter of a square because if all the sides are 2, I can just do 2 times however many sides a square has, which is 4. But if I am doing a rectangle where not all the sides are the same, I have to do 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3. Or I could do 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay? So it's just easier if they're all equal because then you can just do a quick multiplication fact. And if you know your multiplication facts, this makes things like this so much easier. Alright, so you guys are going to work on this problem down here. Okay, I think that, yes, you are good to go with that, with just counting units. But once you get onto this side, you need to use your ruler, okay?